Testing. 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 There we go. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are the Career Services and Experiential Learning team here at Harrisburg University, and we are excited to be with you here on campus in Harrisburg, and we want to say hi to our virtual attendees as well for connecting with us. But this afternoon, we just want to talk through some of the different resources that we have for you as you are searching for maybe a new career or you're trying to upskill and look for different opportunities. We have some different tips and resources that we'll go through. So I am Rebecca Harriger, and I'm the Senior Director of Career Services and Experiential Learning, and I'll let my colleague introduce herself.
And I'm Emily Lupi, the Employer Relations Coordinator.
So we're going to focus on some different job searching strategies for grad students, but some of the things we're going to focus on today, we have a new resource, and we're so pumped to share it with you today that you can utilize and see some of the interests and skills that you have and how you can utilize that to market yourself to your current employer or potential employers that you're trying to target. Looking at some of the different careers that are out there related to some of the interests and skills that you have, and some other job sites that we recommend that you can leverage, and how you can connect with our office as well. So one of our new resources that we have, we wanted to make sure to share with you all, is Career Coach. So this is a brand new resource that has a lot of different tools on it that Emily and I are going to help you explore a little bit here this afternoon. But one of the top things that it allows you to do is it has an interest profiler that it initially lets you go through some questions to ask what you're interested in. And then it will provide you with some different career choices, even programs that we have here at HU that you can utilize, jobs, wage information, which is really important for you. But the live jobs feed is really cool. So Emily and I will help you explore that a little bit this afternoon. So that interest assessment, if you want to check it out and activate your account, we highly recommend it. If you go to harrisburgu.lightcastcc.com, you can access all the information there. So we'll take a deeper dive into it. So Emily's going to go deeper with you and share a little bit about some of the awesome features that we want you to utilize.
Perfect. So there's a couple different ways you can use this. If you want to follow along, like by going to the page, that's fine. Or here's a snapshot of what you would see. So I put in that I want to be a software developer. I've known that for a while, so I'm pretty stuck on that. I didn't need to take the assessment, but if you're curious about other things you can do and other skill set, assessment's really great to come up with some ideas, and it might even offer you the software developer. So I searched for that at the top, and this is going to come up. There's all these different tabs here that the red arrows are showing of different things you can click on. So the overview is telling us like the median salary for this area, how many job openings annually, and then there's all these other tabs, right? So the about will give us a good idea of the day-to-day tasks, the different skills that are associated, the technical skills that you would need, and then also soft skills. So like teamwork, problem solving, all those things. So you can click into that. Those are all great keywords if you have that experience to put it on your resume when you're looking for a software developer role. The wages tab is really cool. So it shows us the starting salary for someone that's typically in this industry, and then how it changes based on how much experience you have, where your location is. That information is crucial to you when you're negotiating salaries. If you just finished up your master's degree and you want to negotiate your salary with your boss, or you're looking for a new job, and you can use this valuable information to negotiate to get that best salary possible for you. The employment tab is pretty cool too. So it gives us a nice snapshot of how many positions have been posted in the last month. This site is scouring the web for software developer roles. If there's been a lot of new positions, again, you're in a really good spot to negotiate. But if the number of positions that have been opening, if you see a little bit of a decline, you might know that the competition is a little more high at that point, and that you might not have as much, power in yourself to negotiate, or might not see as many positions posted at that time for that role. So it gives you some nice insight on that. And then the live job postings, this is probably one of our favorite ones. So this live job postings tab we're going to show you a snapshot of that in just a second too, but it shows a whole ton of jobs that are within 200 miles of Harrisburg University. So pretty local to everyone that, is around Harrisburg or New Jersey, New York, things like that. It's updated every 6 to 12 hours with new roles, which is great because then you don't have to, just look at Indeed or LinkedIn. This is going to have all the roles on here, and then it's going to take you to the company website of that specific company. So we'll also show you some ways to research the company to make sure it could be matching what sponsorship you need or what companies that you would like to work for. But we'll show you that as a snapshot in just a second. But you can save the different titles that you're interested in. That way you can come back to it. All this will save in the account that you made. That way you can continuously check in on how the employment's changing or what the job postings are changing. The last other point before we move on is in the employment tab, it's really cool. It'll tell you the top 10 companies that have the most positions for this specific title at a given time. So it gives you some more insight on who to be researching when you're looking for a new position. So yeah, that's really cool. And there's so many different titles in here. We've worked really strategically with your faculty and to make sure that the titles match the degrees you're seeking. That way, these are things that you'll be able to attain.
And there's another cool feature there as well. There's a resume builder, and we'll talk about that here shortly, but it's definitely another awesome tool that we're really trying to heavily utilize and encourage you to look at. So here is a smaller glimpse into that live job postings. So for Emily's interest in that software developer role, this was just pulled this morning. There's a bunch more as I was scrolling through, but it also gives you that geographic region map that it's pulling. So Emily said within the 200-mile radius of our campus. So it's gone all the way down in New Jersey, up in New York, all in this radius that you can pull from, which is really cool. And we have some other tips too that we'll go through, but you can see some of the job titles that are associated there, some of the companies, and check those out. And then if you would want to strategically apply to those, you can definitely leverage this tool to do that. So one of the things that we do want to encourage you to do, definitely activate your profile on Career Coach. We encourage you to take that assessment on your own. Emily and I have even taken it, and it's pretty cool how it's even aligned with some of our interests in what we do. But we encourage you to do that. So there's a 6, 30, and 60 question assessment. And when you're in there, you can check that out. But some of the things that we encourage you to do when you're playing around, look at those starting salaries, because many grad students are coming to us asking, where can I get salary information? Because I'm trying to level up in my position. I need to have a one-on-one with my supervisor to talk about negotiating a new salary. What can I pull? So that's a focus area that we like to highlight. We also like to showcase job titles. So many companies have different job titles, but they may have some similar skills and duties that you're doing. So depending on the organization that you're at, or maybe you're interested in adjusting your job title at your current employer to align more with some of the work that you're doing, this is a great tool to utilize for that. And also you can see some of those skills then, as Emily mentioned. We're seeing a lot of employers are paying attention to these skills. You can see some of the ones that are highlighted on Career Coach, and then that's what you can leverage the resume tool or your current resume, even your LinkedIn, where you are identifying some of the skill sets that you have with your roles and putting those on your profile. You can leverage Career Coach to make sure that you're in alignment with those. So those are 3 focus areas we wanted to make sure to highlight. Emily, anything else with the focus areas that you want to add?
No, once you play around with it a little bit, just for the sake of time, we're not going to have you do the assessment right now, but we'd be more than happy to chat through your results with you and talk about that and help you, navigate this a little bit more specific to you. So would be happy to do that later on.
So with the resume builder, we wanted to make sure to highlight this because you can utilize it to build out your resume. I have even played around with it. So the cool thing is you can build one from scratch, and it is a great start, especially if you are coming from another country and you want to make sure that your resume is aligning with the U.S. standard resume. This is a great way to help get you started. So we definitely recommend utilizing that. If you have one already, you can also upload what you have into your profile, and it takes your information for you, and it can help you build a new one. So again, you can capture some of the responsibilities that you have, see that skill alignment, and then you'll have it, and then you can also work with us. You want to make sure you can get it past those applicant tracking systems that many of the companies are utilizing. So this is a great way you can do that and make sure that your resume is appealing to the employers that you're applying to. So go ahead, Emily.
Oh, perfect. So now we're going to kind of transition into some sites that you can use to continue with your job search. So we saw that live job postings feed. So there's a whole ton of positions on there for all the different programs here at HU. But Handshake is another really, really good resource for students to find jobs. So Becca can tell you a little bit more about the overview, and then I'll get into the employer side of things.
Absolutely. So we leverage this as well. So some of you have already leveraged it with us, but this is where you can book appointments with us, get connected to our office. We have all the different resources linked through here. So it's a one-stop shop for you to get connected with us. So Career Coach is linked in there. We have our resume recommended templates that you can utilize in there as well. You can see, like just this week, all the employers that we had engaging during Career Week and the events that we host. So it's a really great resource. You can utilize it on your laptops and even on your phones through the app, which is really cool. So you are not required to download the app, but if you want to, it is available in the Apple and the Google Play store if you want to access that. But a couple reasons why we want you to leverage this. Some of you may be looking at in getting a new role so you can discover some of the different jobs. Maybe you want to upskill a little bit and do an internship, even though you may already be working in a different field and you want to upskill a little bit in a different field related to your master's degree. This is a great way to leverage this. You can message employers directly on Handshake, which is a very cool feature. Because as many of us know, sometimes on LinkedIn, and you want to try to message somebody, it might block you because it wants you to pay for a premium account. Handshake allows you to message those recruiters for free, which is really great. And you can connect with some of those different employers and learn about their company. And Emily will showcase a little bit more info about that later. But also, staying connected with us. We really are trying to strive to support you and make sure you're getting that career help, whether you're a current student or even after you graduate as an alumni. Our office is here to support you through that and your career transitions as well. So we want to make sure that you're leveraging your resources effectively. So Emily's going to go into the cool different things related to employers, the features that this has for you to check out.
So the really cool thing about Handshake is majority of the employers that are posting their roles on there know that it's students that are looking for these roles. So they will have some internships, or a lot of internships. They'll have more entry-level positions, but also positions that are going to require some experience that someone that's obtaining their master's degree would be more qualified for than entry-level. But it's a nice, way that that they're looking for, recent students rather than Indeed or LinkedIn that's just putting the positions out there to anyone. However, there's over 750,000 employers in this database. More are added all the time. All the Fortune 500 companies are in here, but also like all different shapes and sizes. So if you really want to work at a small company, there's plenty of small companies in here, maybe 2 or 3 or even 10 employees, but also really big companies too. You'll see some of them listed on here, but there's so many different ones that you can explore and learn more about. And these employers are actively searching for students, so they're always posting new positions. They're also pretty frequently reaching out to students about, hey, we have this position. We came across your profile, thought you might be a good fit for it through the inbox feature. So we can talk a little bit more about that in just a second, but they are searching for students with different qualifications. So building out that profile is going to get you noticed and help you find that perfect position. So again, jobs and internships for all the different paths. So whether you might be interested in working at a sports company or a pharmaceutical company, there's everything in between. So last year they posted 1.5 million jobs and internships in the different industries in all the different states across the U.S. So if you're not living in PA, that's okay. There's positions posted all over the country and all over the world. So this is a really frequently used platform. It's a really good resource for you to find out all these different companies.
So we wanted to make sure to give you an awesome student example, because you may be wondering, how can a student like myself utilize this? So we want you to meet Stefano. So Stefano is a recent graduate of Harrisburg University. Stefano activated their Handshake profile last year and realized it was a really straight forward process, very easy to apply to some of the different opportunities that are there, because there's an easy apply button. So Stefano is interested in data analytics roles, financial roles. I know like many of you. So applied to some of those and then prepared for their interview, and then got a call on their birthday that they were offered an internship position, and then it led into full-time, which is great. But Stefano also was an international student. So I wanted to make sure to highlight that, because Stefano made sure to work with the International Student Office. So we have a representative here with us today. So Brianna is available at the end of the session to answer some questions. But Stefano made sure to reach out to the International Student Office and fill out their CPT forms with the International Student Office to make sure that they were in alignment with that. So now they're working full-time with Delphi Wealth Management Group, which is really awesome. So you can do this too. So we want to make sure that you are leveraging it effectively. So we have some tips on how you can get discovered too. So a couple things we try to make sure to highlight for students when you're activating your accounts. Make sure that you're telling the profile some of the interests that you have. So if you're interested in full-time opportunities, internships, maybe even part-time, tell it you're interested in that. Put some of the cities that you're interested in, the locations. So it doesn't have to be Harrisburg. It could be New York. It could be Los Angeles, as you see on the screen. And the different job roles. So you saw on Career Coach some different job titles. You can, and all the different industries on there. You can leverage that to put some of your interests in your profile here. So it's a really nice match when you look at some of the different resources there. So making sure you have those, and then you're going to be able to leverage it to potentially message those employers that you're interested in. So you can message them, get an inside scoop on some of the jobs that you're interested in. I know some students that attended our career fair this week, the recruiters did mention you can message me on Handshake after the career fair. We just recommend start off with a friendly opening, tell them a little bit about yourself, and just ask a few questions about the role or the company. So making sure that you are effectively showcasing yourself will be really important. They also do virtual sessions, or you can do a virtual info chat, which is a really cool feature. So again, no matter where you're at, you can book an informal 15-minute one-on-one conversation with the employer, which is a really nice feature. LinkedIn does not allow you to do this, so this is a cool feature that you can use if you wanted to schedule some time with the employer. Make sure you're dressed for the part, and we do recommend have a list of questions prepared for the employer if you're getting connected with them and having a Q&A. And then, of course, you can attend events. So we had Career Week this week with different events. You're in our event today. But we have different events that are posted by some of the employers that are hosting information sessions that want to hire students and want to share different information that they have. So we recommend checking out the events tab when you're in there, and you can save some of the different events, and then you can attend them virtually. Some of them may be in person. So we highly recommend that you check those out. And the last piece, and Emily and I can talk about this with you, is just making sure that you get the expert help from us. So getting connected to our team. So you can schedule appointments with us if you have questions. We can do resume reviews if you want to do a mock interview with us. If you do want to talk about leveling up in my career and I need to talk about salary, I looked at some of the wages on Career Coach and I need to talk about that with somebody, we can do that with you. So definitely explore some of the offerings that we have through there so you can get connected. But Emily's going to make sure to showcase to you this cool feature because we want to make sure that you are aware of this.
So Handshake allows different employer collections. So what we've done to try to best suit our international student population and all of our students, we've made some different collections and built them out pretty extensively to best support you. So you can see on this display here, there's some on the left-hand side. So there's great for internships. That category is all a lot of the companies that our students at HU have interned at before. All of them are listed in there. There's over 100 in there. But the other one that I have a screenshot here of just the beginning of it is hires international students. So we've done a ton of data or done a lot of research to collect data on what companies have included sponsorship in the past, offer the CPT, the OPT, and we've created this profile for them. So there's 100 employers in here. This is just a handful of them, but you can follow these employers. You can click directly into them so you know what positions they might have or, use the research to message those the recruiters there. But this will save you a lot of time rather than going through all the different job boards and seeing, I need to go here and look if they offer it. Here's 100 companies for you right here. And then we have a couple other categories in here, like popular with alumni is pretty cool. So we put in a lot of companies that our alumni are currently working at. So you could reach out to those alumni. Create Social Impact is some nonprofit companies that maybe you'd be interested in. So highly encourage you to check out these employer collections because we've built them out specifically for our HU population.
So I want to make sure that you know who we are. So you met Emily and I today, but AJ Merlino is also on our team. So if you want to get connected with us, you can always email our entire team at careerservices@harrisburgu.edu, and it goes to all three of us, and we'd be happy to get connected to you if you have questions about this. So make sure that you schedule some time with us through here, but we wanted to showcase just a couple more resources because you saw Career Coach, you saw Handshake, some different live job postings, but I know some of you are like, does that organization work with me if I need CPT or OPT? Have they provided sponsorship in the past? These are some resources we wanted to make sure to highlight with you. So the first one is My Visa Jobs. This site, you can look at some of the different organizations that have sponsored in the past that are open to CPT, OPT. You'll just have to play around with it. You can create an account for free if you want to leverage it, but it is an interesting site that you can definitely leverage. So you can check that out at myvisajobs.com. And Emily, feel free. You can add some other tips too.
That's okay. I can talk about the next one.
Cool.
So H1B Grader is another site that we would highly recommend to you. And we will send all these links to you after the chat. So if you don't have them all written down, no worries. You'll get them in your email. But this site is really user-friendly. Again, it's checking what places have offered this sponsorship in the past so that you know when you're applying to there that they've done it in the past so you're not wasting time applying places that aren't going to offer it. So you can search by different titles. So like if we were playing off that software developer, we can search that and see what companies have offered that sponsorship for software developers in the past. You can do it based off location. So if you know I'm going to stay in New Jersey, I'm not going to move anywhere, you can get a list of the companies that are in that area. And then you can just search the companies too. So there's a lot of different rankings in there of who's offered what. So it's a really, really useful site. Again, free for you to keep checking in on, and we highly encourage you to use it.
Another site, this is another cool new resource. We just have so many cool new resources this year that we've been adding to give you some experience and to upskill. We have a partnership with micro internships as well to offer you opportunities to do short-term based projects. They average 10 to 40 hours, and the majority of the positions are remote. It's a great way for you to upskill or get some additional experience if you would like. All the opportunities are paid opportunities, which is really awesome. So our undergrad students and graduate students are able to leverage these, and you can apply, you can create an account, and we highly recommend that you fill out your profile, similar to what you're doing on Career Coach and Handshake with Us. Fill out your profile, make sure that you're giving it your major, the interest that you have, and you'll see all the different projects in there that you can apply to. A tip that we just learned in the past 2 weeks is making sure that you have a strong LinkedIn profile, have your resume ready, but also making sure that your profile is fully filled out when you sign up to check these out. We also learned that, I think it was, if you apply to at least 10, apply to at least 10 opportunities, you're more likely to get selected to do an opportunity. These update as well, like every 10 to 12 hours, very similar to Career Coach. So we tell students check back often. Save this to your favorites, go there all the time, check it out, and apply to some of the different opportunities. And we have different tips and resources then if you do get an opportunity like this, how you can put it on your LinkedIn or your resume to showcase to an employer.
Yeah, we're really excited about this resource, and even if you're searching for a job right now, you can use these in the intermediate to find something else and get some other skills. But yeah, make sure you fill out your profile. They also shared with us, the representative from this company, that when you get selected for one, they'll email you and you have to get back to them within 36 hours. So if you're applying to these, make sure you're keeping an eye on your email, because they might tell you get selected. And if you don't get back to them, unfortunately, they have to pass it along to someone else because they're looking to get the job done pretty quickly. So would hate for you to miss out on something that you got selected for. So keep an eye out on that.
And the last thing is, if you are an international student, you are able to do these as well. So we wanted to make sure to notate that. So a lot of different offerings for our students. So definitely take advantage of them. And as Emily mentioned, we're going to send all these links out to you so that you can access them from wherever you are, and you can book appointments with us too if you want to do that. But we wanted to open it up for the last part of the session if you have any questions. So I don't know if we have any here in the room or online. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know you did say like jobs are posted like live stream. Mm-hmm. Is that based on jobs in Pennsylvania or based on your own location of what you feel as a criteria where you're located?
Good question. So on Career Coach, I'll try to summarize the question for our online viewers. When you're looking at the job postings, they do change every 10 to 12 hours. They are pulled from a 200-mile radius from Harrisburg. So you'll see on the slide, we had a picture of a map. So it's going all the way up into New York, goes into New Jersey, down a little bit into Maryland, Delaware. So all around a 200-mile radius.
That will be hopefully changing pretty soon. Since this is super new, we didn't want to hold it back from you. We wanted to roll it out. As a team, we're hopefully going to build it out that you can put in like your zip code and be able to search, maybe if you're not in that 200-mile radius. But for now, it's just that. But we're going to keep working on it, so keep checking back. The one suggestion I would have, if that you're not in that 200 radius, you can still look at the companies that are posting. It could be a remote position. They could have multiple locations across the country, and it's just pulling, let's say, for Baltimore, but they might have one in Georgia too. So, looking at their company website, it'll direct you to there to take a look at those opportunities as well.
Good question.
For the micro internships, if you already have like a short-term role or part-time role, can you combine that like with the micro internship? Like, are you able to do two like kind of work together?
Yeah, good question. So the question was around micro internships. If you're already working part-time, can you apply to do a micro internship part-time or full-time? Yes, you absolutely can. So we have several students that are working part-time jobs, but they want to apply to some of the opportunities through micro internships because they want to upskill a little bit.
But this is specific for international. I know like it differs for other students. Like if you're international and you're already working on CPT, would that affect anything? Like
Oh, so yeah, so Brianna's going to aid us with that question here. So that it was related to if you're already working, could that doing a micro internship affect your CPT?
So you can do 2 CPT opportunities at the same time, but you need to make sure that you receive a new I-20 with both jobs listed before you start working. So with the micro internships, I know you said they have to reply within 36 hours, but before you can actually start the new internship, you have to get that new I-20 with CPT.
they have your existing organization which you're working with, whether full-time or part-time, and then the micro.
Yeah. So before you start any new work, you have to make sure the I-20 lists that employer. Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Last question. I'm sorry.
No, this is awesome.
I know there's an organization that I'm part of. It's called NSB, which is National Society of Black Engineers. And unfortunately, HU isn't partnered with the organization. And I know like lots of like big schools or even smaller schools have a partnership. And I was wondering what like HU could do about that. Like it's a very big conference that you have. I'm sure if you Google it, like it's called NSB, NSBE. You see like a lot of recruiters are going to be there. So and I know that a lot of like engineering students here or even technical students, it kind of categorizes for that. I was wondering if there was anything that could be done so that HU could have a chapter with the university,
Oh,
with the organization.
yeah, great question. So the question was around there's a lot of professional organizations that graduate students and undergraduate students can get involved in that offer conferences and professional development and networking. How can graduate students start a professional organization chapter related to that so that students can get involved? So one suggestion I'd have for you is get connected and reach out to student services. So we do have some student groups on campus, and I know that there were some that were related to other professional organizations and have a student chapter. So I would recommend, if you haven't done that, to utilize that. Okay, perfect.
Any group or any club or anything.
Yeah,
To it. So it was kind of a gray area. Like I wasn't sure what to do.
sure.
And I was also wondering, like, I know, like, I reached out to the organization themselves, and they did say, like, you're okay to, like, start a chapter if you want to.
Yes,
You have to get approval from the
yes.
or either you can tell the school and they can either sponsor you. I don't know if they do that because they have like a conference. Like if the school wants to make you the representative, like say HU, I'm a HU representative in the school, and
Yep.
I talk about how HU is great and blah blah blah. I could also be representative of HU and they can also sponsor the conference.
Yep.
Like, how they want to go about it.
Yeah. So the other piece of it is if you are interested in starting an organization, a professional organization or a club, there is a form that you can fill out to apply to do that. So that is through student services and student activities. So I would recommend going that route, even if it is associated with a professional organization. If you want to start something like that, highly welcome it. Regarding just do a small touch point on this, but funding to go to those professional organizations, we highly recommend you connect with your program lead of your program if you are interested in that as well, and they can talk with you about the process for that and what that looks like. Because unfortunately, right now we don't have like a student like research or chapter fund for professional organizations. But that's something you could talk about with your program lead. But definitely, we highly encourage you to get involved in those organizations because they're a great place to network. Sometimes they do different career fairs, they have different groups, and you can get connected to different companies through there. So we highly encourage that. Any other questions? Any online that have come through? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, good. So a question from our online viewers around micro internships. after I've graduated from HU, can I still apply to micro internships? Yes, you absolutely can. So we had some students this past December and even May who are fresh graduates at HU, and they have been leveraging applying to micro internships as they were looking for full-time roles so that they, again, could get some experience and showcase to the employers when they were searching for jobs that they were trying to get some opportunities there. So you can absolutely do that. Good question.
Real quick, coming back to the 36-hour thing, that's just like committing to the, like you can just say, yes, like I'm excited, and then you'll set up another meeting with the company later. So you still have some time in there. It's not like you're, starting work right away. You can have some timeline. If something were to change, you can let them know that you're no longer able to pursue that.
Alrighty. Any other questions?
When can we start the CPT? After first semester or the second semester?
Yeah, Brianna will answer this question, but the question was, when can we begin CPT?
So graduate students at HU are eligible to apply for CPT from the first semester. The only thing is just make sure, you're submitting all of the required documents to the ISO. You cannot start until you receive the I-20 with CPT authorization, but you can start from the first semester as a graduate student.
Yes.
My doubt is, do we need to do the job related to our course which we have taken? Or we can apply for any job?
So is that related to your CPT? The question was, do you need to apply to jobs related to your graduate studies at HU for your CPT to be accepted?
Yes. So for CPT, the job needs to be directly related to your program. And so you'll have to submit the academic work placement form to the Office of Records and Registration along with a job description. And so they will be able to check, to make sure that it's related to your program.
Great questions, everyone. Any other questions for us? And it's okay if we don't. All right. Well, not seeing any, Emily and I and Brianna were very glad to be with you this afternoon. And please, feel free to connect with us at careerservices@harrisburgu.edu. For those of you that are here in person, Brianna has a resource around CPT if you want to grab a resource before you leave. If you are joining from online, you can access the information for CPT on the ISO Help site, so you can access that there. But have a good rest of your weekend and executive session, and we'll look forward to seeing you at another one.
And if you didn't check in before, we're going to put the QR code back on there. That way we can send you the email after that has all the links that we talked about. So if you didn't do that, if you could just do it for 2 seconds before you leave, that'd be great.